all white people are racist. I really want any white person in the room to know up front that this is what we're dealing with, that it's not going to be this coddling of white tears and what that looks like. We're not going to discuss, oh, maybe some of us have worked it out. No, you're always going to be racist, actually. I believe that white people are born into not being human.
What?
This is extreme.
What? That is crazy.
Are they crazy? This just isn't even logical discussion. Has academia gone insane?
Yes, that's the short answer. Yes, it has gone insane. But it's not logic, because you need logic. You need reason to build things, right? They want to tear things down. The last thing you want is logic and reason when you want to tear things down. That will slow down the process, if anything.
But there has been stuff that ought to be torn down, right? There has been white supremacy and white control.
Right, there has been all that stuff, and it has been dealt with and is being dealt with in several ways. Unfortunately, a lot of what's going on in my field is more idealist than realist. And what I mean by that is, it's easier to change the name of a bridge. It's easier to tell somebody to check their privilege than it is to actually change things institutionally. So they perform this activism and call that progress, right? When in reality, it's really just theater.
What is progress?
So this video is about diversity, equity, and inclusion within schools, bro. So here's the thing. The reason that this is such a popular, or I guess big subject, and of course I didn't see it because when I was in schools, this was not happening, and now I'm in college, but when I was like coming up, this was not a thing. But now that it is, I see why parents get so angry. Because let's say it's a huge problem in society, and it's an adult problem, or at least it's an older person problem. You don't want your young kids to be, I guess, exposed to that, for one, so soon, and for two, by someone that you may not trust on that level. So just imagine this. You have your kids being told something that's kind of subjective in schools. That's not a fact. So you can't really teach it in the way that you can teach like math or science, because it's all subjective. So however you learn it is all dependent upon who your teacher is, what your teacher wants you to know, how your teacher wants you to know it, and that can cause real problems, bro. But anyways, that's what's happening now, man. The person, he is a diversity trainer, which is extremely ironic, and he's against diversity, equity, and inclusion. I've done a video about this in the past, but I never finished it, so this is good.
Progress is reform, in my opinion.
Meaning what?
And well, you have a conversation, you look at policies, right? You talk about the pros and cons of these policies, the worthiness and unworthiness of them, as classical rhetoricians may say, right? And you act accordingly, you deliberate. That's what's supposed to happen. People think in academia, and this is my take on things based on research and things like that, I think people have come so far, the country has come so far that, talking about, racism, oppression, and things like that is losing power. We had a black president for 2 terms. The biggest rising immigrant class is from West Africa. Things are getting better. They're losing that leverage. So they have to.
Victimhood leverage?
Yes. So now they have to really ramp it up.
You know what's crazy? Before we get into this clip from schools, people are making a lot of money off of victimhood. That's why it's so popular, because there's a lot of civil rights leaders or leaders in society who are making a lot of money off of victimhood. An example is the president of one of our biggest movements. I'm not going to say the movement, but they made millions and millions of dollars. I think y'all know what movement I'm talking about, because I'm not going to say it, but y'all know. They made millions of dollars, even though they probably could have solved the problem, or probably did solve a problem when they were first starting, or maybe not. It doesn't matter. That's not their goal. Their goal is to make money. And with the money they made, they bought houses, they bought land, they laundered money. That's what people do. They're making money off of victimhood. They don't actually care if anything is better. Or at least let's say they don't care anymore. Because they're rich now. Hey y'all, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe.
All white people are racist. I really want any white person in the room to know up front that this is what we're dealing with, that it's not going to be this coddling of white tears. What that looks like. We're not going to discuss, oh, maybe some of us have worked it out. No, you're always going to be racist, actually. I believe that white people are born into not being human.
What?
This is extreme.
What? That is crazy.
I take it.
It is extreme, but it's becoming more of the norm and less of an aberration. In my field anyway. As far as the people who you hear all the time anyway, there are a lot of people silencing themselves because they don't want to be mobbed. I mean, they saw what they did to a black guy. You know, what are you going to do to white people or even, Latino or Asian or something like that?
They just criticized you. So
Yeah.
what?
Well, I mean, so what is, yeah, you're right. I mean, it didn't really hurt me. In fact, it made me louder. My issue here is the field and the devolution of the field into something I can't even label right now. We're not doing rhetoric anymore. We're doing woke studies, and I think that's a shame. I think my field has a lot to offer, and we're not offering it because we're bogged down by these marginal issues. Now, that is not to say that we can't talk about race and rhetoric simultaneously and center race. We can definitely do that. But that's not what's going on here. What's going on is the perpetuation of a narrative. The narrative is all. That narrative is oppressor, oppressed.
And let's broaden it beyond the field of rhetoric to the whole world here, because what undergraduates are listening to women like this. And I don't know what a student comes away with from that.
Well, I mean, the problem there is that many students are getting one take. The professors or their student leaders, what have you, they're not saying this is one way of looking at things. They're saying this is the way. Anybody opposed to this is opposed to equality. They're opposed to diversity and equity.
And what makes, unless you're teaching, a less subjective class such as math or science or any of those classes, when it comes to teaching, I don't even know how to classify this class, a social study class, there has to be some level of objectivity within the professor so that the student is able to take what they hear and apply their own context to the situation. And I'm not saying the professor has to be completely objective like a robot, because that's not possible. Humans are humans. We're emotional creatures. But for example, the clip we just seen of the lady saying all white people are this, all white people are bad, that's just, for one, that's just insane. And the fact that she's in a position to tell young students that is even more insane. Like, the fact that that's an allowed take. Imagine she had a white student in her class. You're really, that is insane, bro. If the roles were reversed, this would never happen. But anyways, man, it has to be some objectivity in these courses, man. Because if there's not, you're just brainwashing. You're not even really teaching at that point.
Equity and inclusion, right? And by oppose, I mean anybody who's asking questions, right? Anybody who wants clarification. I was once told that by asking somebody to elaborate, I was trying to silence her.
By asking her to elaborate.
Yes.
Well, as a
What?
white person in that class, I would just shut up and figure I have no right to express doubt.
Yeah, about a year back, I had a student, a white student in class, and he came to my office after I said, "This is a safe, you can say what you need to say here. We're going to have conversations, things like that." And he came to my office and he was like, "No, I can't. I cannot do that, and I can't do that." And I tried to convince him that in my space, in my class, you can, and he wasn't having it, and he had a point.
White people.
I posted a video one time, and it was about, I don't even remember the topic. I don't even remember the exact topic, but I said something about Ariel in the movie. I mean, in the video, and I was like, I don't have a problem with Ariel being black, or that they had Ariel as a black artist. I mean, as a black actor instead of a white one, because like if they're choosing the best artist, then they're just choosing the best artist. I don't really care who the artist is, as long as they can sing and they fit the part. I really don't care. And somebody emailed me, and they flat out just disagree with me. Like, they completely disagree with me. They wrote me a long message saying, no, I'm wrong. They were really into these type of movies, and by choosing someone who isn't the skin color, they're kind of removing, I guess, a critical part of the movie or whatever. And when I read that, I could have said, nah, forget that. That's racist. You just don't like black people. But I would have been completely ignorant to say that. Because when I make these videos, I don't make them to have a definitive voice or to, be like, this is the truth, this is it. For one, I make these videos to learn. For two, I really want y'all to, if y'all disagree with me, tell me. And we can have a back and forth. Because my thing is, I'm trying to learn too. And you're trying to learn whatever you're trying to teach. I don't care. My thing is, I want to learn. So the only reason I brought that example up is because this is kind of ties into the person in class saying, I can't say what I want to say. Because some environments don't allow you to say what you want to say. Whether you're in class, if you're a different race, they don't allow it. And they may tell you they allow it, but they don't really allow it. But on this channel, as long as you're respectful, don't be cursing, say what you got to say, man. No cap.
Well, they're socialized to feel they are inherently superior because they are white. By age 3 to 4, children understand it's better to be white. I'm sure there's research that supports that.
Yes, there is.
Shouldn't that be told?
Yes, it should be told, and it should be dealt with. The thing is, a lot of this it happens in a non sequitur manner. What I mean by that is, you have a problem, and then you have a solution, and the connection is not quite clear, right? So we have students who are 3 years old who think that whiteness is inherently better than blackness, including some black kids who think whiteness is inherently better than blackness. So we need to do what, right? Restorative justice, we need to get rid of AP classes, we need equitable math, we need to stop punishing students who are misbehaving.
Black math.
The solution doesn't match the problem to me. And I think we can have conversations about, proper solutions, but we're not doing that.
What's equitable math?
Equitable math is a document that came out a couple of years ago.
Bro, I just did a video on this.
The way we teach math is inherently racist. It is paternalistic. The teacher shouldn't act like a teacher. The teacher shouldn't expect right answers. The teacher should grade based on the student's desire to know. Because, black kids can't do math.
Got this.
Bro, I literally just did a video on that, bro. If y'all didn't watch that, bro, if y'all ever watch a video on my channel, y'all need to watch that video. Like, I never say this, but y'all need to watch that video. This book was about black math. How we are less prone or less, I don't even know the right word. We aren't able to learn math on the same level of other races, and there's basically they didn't even mention other races. They basically said the whiter you are, the better at math you are. They need to give us like black figures in our math, and it needs to relate more to our culture and our life. It was, bro, y'all need to watch that video.
Microsoft video.
We want to acknowledge that the land where the Microsoft campus is situated was traditionally occupied by the Sammamish, the Duwamish.
It goes on and on.
Yeah.
It's nice to apologize.
Yes, but what is it really doing? The land acknowledgement, other than making the person saying it feel better about himself or herself. I mean, think about it. They're not giving the land back, right? A land acknowledgement is like walking up to somebody who's eating his lunch, taking his sandwich, eating it, and saying, as you eat it, sorry I took your sandwich. As you enjoy that sandwich and walk away. That's what a land acknowledgement is to me. It makes no sense. It's all about performance, and it's about alleviating the guilt of the person giving it.
But they're all doing it so enthusiastically. It's like a religious rite.
Yes, it is kind of like a religious rite. In fact, John McWhorter would say as much, right? Woke racism is about calling this movement a religion. Not metaphorically, but literally. And I mean, there's some, I mean, if you follow the research, if you will, and go back, there's a lot of religiosity when it comes to social justice activism. In fact, a lot of this comes from what's called the Frankfurt School and cultural Marxism, critical theory and things like that.
You also have at this Microsoft event, I think, this people doing for blind people. I'm Natalia.
I'm a Caucasian woman with long blonde hair, and I go by she, her.
They all embrace it.
Yeah.
It makes me think I must be not understanding something.
Well, yeah, and that's kind of the idea. They want to confuse people as much as they want to virtue signal, right? If you confuse people,
I think they want to make people feel included. They think it'll make others feel included. They're good people.
Yeah.
But it's just weird. Like, how are you a good person by allowing other people to call you evil? And I know I'm not tripping because it was literally a clip of the black teacher saying all white people are evil or bad or whatever the crap. And that is like, that's not in the context of this video, that wouldn't be a crazy take because people agree for some reason. But my thing is, how could you agree with something like that? For one, it's extremely racist. It's extremely racist if you are not white. And if you are white, it's just kind of weird because you are white. So why would you agree that all white people are bad if you're white? Or if you have good white friends or good white friends? It's just a weird thing to say. And it's just a weird thing to, I guess, watch in society. It just doesn't make much sense to me. And I don't even think this is, the fact that I'm saying this, I don't even look at this as like a radical take. I just look at this like a common sense thing. Like, it's no way people actually believe that an entire race is just bad. It's no way. Am I crazy for saying this?
Some of them are, and some of them are not.
In Florida, Chris Rufo was appointed to a university board, says he'll replace DEI with EMC, equality, merit, and color blindness.
I like equality and merit and color blindness.
That sounds good.
Those things are being, again, demonized by certain people. Color blindness does not mean you don't see color. It doesn't mean you don't see racism. It means whether I like you or not doesn't depend on your race. That's all it's ever meant. But if you want to spin this into something, if you want to spin this into something that matches the oppressor-oppressed narrative, then you will say something like colorblindness ignores racism and the fact that racism is out there, right? Merit is a good thing. Now, we can talk about what constitutes a meritocracy, what is meritorious and what isn't. We can have a conversation about that, but we need merit. We need a standard in which to measure somebody's aptitude for a certain job or something like that. We need that. And merit is not something we can ever really get rid of. The people who complain about meritocracy have meritocracies. It's just a different one, that meritocracy may be about, who can spout the most woke statements. That gives you merit in some sense. So meritocracy doesn't go away. They just want their meritocracy. I think that should be a conversation.
Is the pendulum swinging back?
I think it is, yes. And that is a good thing right now. I hope it doesn't swing too far in the other direction. One of my biggest fears this entire time has been the backlash, the potential backlash to all this. How is the pushback going to look? We don't want to get rid of things like ethnic studies. We want to do it right. But if we're swinging to the point where we have to get rid of ethnic studies and other things that are, fine, that's another problem.
Is it anywhere close to swinging too far in the other direction?
Oh, not yet. Not yet. I'm speculating about the future. That's all. And hopefully if we can speculate now, we can avoid that in the future. That's the idea.
Yeah, he's not really going to say anything else. That's really the conclusion of this video. Let me know if y'all want to see any more clips like this. It's LFR Jojo, and I'll see y'all next one.